What's up, internet? It's your boy Collier from Finding Wombat, and I am pretty sure you are thinking, why am I putting out this video so late? Well, with Halo Infinite right around the corner, and I had the footage done like a while back, I just figured, hey man, better late than never, and what a better time than right now, since Halo Infinite is right around the corner. So this video is going to be pretty much like a breakdown of like my opinion of like how I felt about the weapons and like basically my entire experience of the beta. And I'm just gonna make this like, sweet and short and like, professional and as informative as possible without making it too long. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. First off, we're gonna go over 4 parts. We're gonna go over the weapons and equipment. We're gonna go over the bots in the training portion. We're gonna go to the big team multiplayer and the bots multiplayer. Starting off, let's go with the weapons and equipment. Let's start off with the good old classic, the classic AR. It was, it's impossible to mess up. It's a familiar look and it feels updated with fresh audio. It's a solid 10 out of 10. Can't go wrong with it. It's great. Next, we have the BR, the revival of the BR from the classic Halo 3. It has that classic Halo 3 look, the feel and the sound. It hits targets like the good old days. And I kind of do miss the aim down sights for like the smart zoom rather than like what they have like right now. It's like the same thing that they had in Halo 3, but it's okay. Next, we have the sidekick pistol. Alright, so hands down, instantly love this weapon. It is my instant favorite. It's got a speedy, rapid fire, it's got a speedy reload, and it's very easy to handle. It's a lovely addition or upgrade to the Magnum. The Magnum was, very powerful, but this was just a nice successor of the Magnum. Next, we have the Pulse Carbine. It's an interesting weapon to use. You got tracking projectiles from a distance, so you just be from medium to like almost long range, and the projectiles track your target as long as the reticle stays on it. I'm not sure, I didn't notice if it was a quick shield depleting weapon like energy-based weapons are, but it's still a great weapon. I enjoy it. Next, we have the good old-fashioned plasma pistol. It has a familiar design. It has this nice little updated sound design to it, which is pretty cool. It feels a little bit slower on the charge and the blast speed. I'm not sure, didn't really have much time to play with it, but I feel like it's a little bit slower, but other than that, it still gets the job done. Next, we have another new weapon. We have the Commando. I feel like this weapon is like a DMR and the AR had a baby, and then boop, we got Commando. It has high recoil, but big on the damage. And I feel like it's the go-to for like the good old-fashioned AR, the classic AR replacement. If you want like a precision AR, which is possible, you actually get proper headshots off this thing, and it has a nice little kick to it. So they are a nice, easy go-to replacement for the AR. Next up on the list, we have the Shock Rifle, another new weapon. I had rare opportunities to use it, so I kind of don't have much to say about it. It feels like it's like a quick shield depleting weapon, but again, not too sure. Haven't really had much time to use it. And it's a pretty interesting design. I'm pretty sure it's one of those banished weapons. It's got like interesting look to it, and it just shoots bolts of lightning, which is pretty cool. But that's all I gotta say about that. Next, we have another new weapon, or like I guess another version of an auto weapon, which is the Bulldog shotgun. Honestly, it was confusing at first. The damage feels a bit lower than expected for it to be like, a shotgun, or that just could be me. The bullet spread in range was not to be expected for a shotgun. I feel like it's got a further range. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but like to me, I feel like it has a further range. I remember being shot at with that thing, and I remember seeing the bullet spread being so close to me as the enemy is like further away, and they're still tagging me just a little bit. But I don't know, I might be tripping or whatever, but I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments below, but that's how I feel. But our shotgun is pretty solid. Just need some more time to get used to it. Next, we have another new weapon, which is the Heat Wave. This is like one of my, a little bit more of like another favorite of the newer gun. It kind of feels like a scatter shot, and it has this unique concept of like projectile direction change from horizontal to vertical. It also feels like it's more of like an area denial weapon, like not necessarily to, yes, you can defeat your opponent with it, but you can also use it to control your opponent of like, oh, I don't want to go in there because the projectiles ricochet all over the place, so they can't really get close to you. You're controlling that area. They can't really get close to you to get a good hit unless they have a long-range weapon, but it would be ideal for a smaller area or more confined area. If it's just like one-on-one or maybe like 2 against 1, you would force your opponents to like constantly be on their feet of like moving around. All right, next we have another new weapon, the skewer. This thing is high damage, long range, precision type of weapon. It kind of reminds me of a mix of the spark laser and the railgun without the charge. It's just instant boom, just got it. And this thing just absolutely wrecks. I'm not so good with the skewer, but when the few times that I did get hits with the weapon, it just absolutely kabobs your opponents. It is just awesome if you get it down right. Next, we have another new weapon, the Ravager. Ravager. I'm just calling it the Ravager. This is another cool, bigger weapon. It's a messy, long-lasting area denial feel, because like this projectile is like this red splash of fiery electric charge. It kind of reminds me of the incineration cannon from like Halo 4 and 5. Like, you know, it shoots this domino thing, and then once it hits a wall, it like, you know, shoots these little bouncing extra projectiles. But those don't last as long. But this one lasts for like a little bit. So like it's like, I don't know, like a hot fire water messy thing. It's pretty cool, and I just absolutely love the thing. You can hit your opponent directly, does some damage, or just shoot around them just for splash damage, and it just keeps them at bay because they see it there and they don't want to get any closer, or it forces them to jump over, and it just opens up some opportunities to, like, you know, take down your opponent. It's pretty cool. I love the thing. Next, we have the return of the Spanker rocket launcher. I am digging the new design. It seems a little bit more streamlined. It seems like it's also lighter because of its new design, but I also feel like it is a bit nerfed. Like, we all know that the freaking rocket launcher is like that. Okay, I'm gonna shoot you, and when it blows up, it's gonna get you. Like, if your opponent is close to it or like a little bit further, it's gonna take them out or take a massive chunk of their health. This feels like it doesn't do that, even right up on them. Like, I gotta like hit them with a projectile for them to like go down in one hit, or like they have to be like right in front of it. If they're any further than what it appears to be, like, I don't know, 5 feet, they're probably gonna take like half of their health, or just like, or I mean half of the shield or the entire shield down, but like not taking any extra health. I don't know, but every time I got hit by it, it took me out because the bots were better. But I feel like it got nerfed. And maybe it also has a slower reload. I'm not sure, but that's how I feel. But next, we got the grapple. Okay, the grapple is hands down my favorite gadget of all the gadgets that I have. You can zip around the map, you get to higher places, and you can also like close in. You can hit your opponent and close in on them. I mean, yeah, you can be taking fire, but like you could close that distance gap really quick. You can either hit them or hit the wall next to them, and it's like that quick way to close in, take them out with like a punch, or like if you had the bulldog, shoot them with the bulldog. I'm still having trouble like trying to figure out what surfaces are grappleable and which are not, but other than that, that thing is fun to just zip around the entire map with like insane speed. Next, we have the drop shield. I rarely use this thing, but I'm pretty sure everybody can agree that it feels very light. You can shoot at it and then the things just disappear. But I don't know, it might be better than we all think. I'm not sure, but it just feels like. That's all I gotta say for the drop shield. Next, we have the cloak. The cloak has been done very well, and I almost can't see when the opponents are cloaked either. That's how well I feel like it's been done. It's just great. Next, we have the repulsor. I barely use it. I don't think I even used it correctly when I did have it, and I just really have nothing to say about it. Never used a threat sensor, but I have used the overshield. The overshield feels pretty solid. I love the whole visual effect of like, you know, lets you know the shield is actually being active, like on you through the visor, and it seems to be, you know, dampening incoming small arms fires just fine. Not sure about the bigger stuff, I never got hit by that, but it feels like it's doing just fine, which is pretty cool. Now let's move on to the grenades, and this will be the last bit that I have here. Regular grenades are still good. The new version of the spike grenade is pretty darn neat when it explodes and freaking ricochets around the area too, so absolutely love that. The plasma grenade feels a bit slower when you throw it, but it's still pretty solid, sticks just fine. Dynamo grenade is a great area control and shield depletion tool. Absolutely just amazing. That is a good addition to the list of grenades. Alright, so now that we're done with the weapons and the tools and the gadgets, let's move on to the bot's training. So let's go over to like its intelligence per difficulty. Like we all know that it has like the recruit, the ODST, and the Spartan, and what is it? The Marines. So the recruit is super easy, while the Marines gives a bit of a balanced challenge without being overwhelming. I feel like the Marines is like my favorite difficulty to go for, like, a nice solid warm-up. Okay, next we have the ODST. I noticed that the ODSTs will have you watching your backs and watching your corners. And these guys, when they're in ODST mode, they like to stick in groups in at least 2 or more. So look out for that. And the Spartan difficulty is definitely the hardest. It's the hardest because it is smart and it feels like they are the hunters while you are the prey. You like always in groups, their aiming's on point, and it's not because they take more damage, but like they are just a smarter AI. And I hope this will carry on to the campaign, because I would absolutely love to see this, so that way it's not like, oh, the shields of the enemies is like more, or they're taking less damage. Like, no, the AI is just smarter. They hit you all the time, the aim is better. Or like if you just dumb it down, it just gives you like a fairness, because like they're not as smart or as efficient. And when I was playing around with the bots, I've noticed like some AI ally bugs. I don't know if it's because of the difficulty or it just might be something that was going on with the beta itself. So I've noticed that some ally bots will stand in place until an enemy bot is near, then it reacts. Sometimes an ally bot will return to the spawn area until another bot arrives to its location, or until it spawns at the same location, or until an enemy bot arrives. And I've only seen this on like recruit and marine level bots. I haven't seen it on like any higher difficulty bots because I really play on the higher difficulties, but this is what I've seen so far. Could be a difficulty with the AI thing, or just gonna be like, I don't know, a little thing that they haven't fixed. Maybe we'll get fixed, I don't know, but we'll see. Next, I've noticed that there is like a very clear visual indicator of like the damage in the ally position. So there's a clear outline of the ally, so like solid obstacles and structures, which is pretty cool. And there's a great visual of like what part of the body is being hit to the enemy opponent. So like if you're hitting the shoulder, it will show you it is the shoulder. If you're hitting the torso, the leg, the head, it glows, it lights up, and it gets brighter and brighter until the entire shield drops. That is a really cool feature. I absolutely love it. There's like no guesswork about that. Next we have the big team battle multiplayer. I've only played like maybe like 2 rounds, and this is pretty much what I have to say here. It is a solid experience, and the map was pretty darn huge. I only played the one map for big team battle that they had. It was like the foliage one. That's like a mix of like the forerunner structure and the wilderness. I can't remember what the name of it was. But as far as playing as with other human opponents on the other end, there was like it was like fair kills on my end, and the deaths also seemed fair. There was like no bullcrap going around with like how I was getting killed. I've also had difficulty learning the new controls with like the melee and the crouch, and there's like no dash. So the best way I have to do this is I have to relearn the Halo 3 style of playing, or think about the like Destiny, the game Destiny. Think about that style of playing, because the controls from Destiny and Halo Infinite is almost the same, somewhat like with crouching and melee. The button mapping is the same, and I have to undo and remember that dashing is not a thing for Halo Infinite. So if I do that, then I might be okay for Halo Infinite. For the last bit, let's talk about how the bots behave during multiplayer. So it was on Marine. It was probably on a Marine difficulty with me playing against the bots with human allies on the other end. I played Capture the Flag, and it seemed pretty solid. My teammates were cooperative. To an extent, I did have a problem with one member who just like stayed in the room and didn't want to return the flag. But other than that, the difficulty for the bots and cooperative with my teammates, it was pretty solid. It was a pretty fun experience. I probably played like 2 matches, and that's all I had time for to play, and it was pretty good. Didn't have a chance to play the other modes, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. And that is pretty much it. That is my impression and my take on the Halo Infinite beta. And I hope your experience, if you ever played the beta, was just as solid and just as fun, or probably more fun. And with Halo Infinite coming right around the corner, coming day one to Game Pass Ultimate, well no, just Game Pass in general. I have Game Pass Ultimate. We will all have the opportunity to go ahead and play it, and I just cannot wait. It is so close. I can always taste it. But yeah, that is my opinion. That is my take on the Halo Infinite beta. Can't wait for the real thing. I'm pretty sure you guys can't wait for the real thing. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for clicking the video. Even though it is like late into the game, I still very much appreciate you guys for coming around. If you guys want to see more content just like this, of course it is right here on YouTube's. You want to find where I'll be hiding on the interwebs. Links will be in the description below. And again, thank you for watching the video. And as always, I will see you guys on the flip side. But as always, stay awesome. Collier from Final Wombat signing out.